Ephesians, the first chapter, and the 9th verse. Ephesians 1 and 9. Amen. A little more time. I got a lot of things that I need to do before I leave this world behind. Will I be ready?
Yes.
Will you be ready?
Yes.
I'll be ready when you come.
Go.
But then, yeah, just a little time. Ephesians 1 and 9 said, having made known unto us the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure, which he hath purposed in himself. Now, if you will go over to Luke 22:42. Luke 22:42. Amen. Luke 22:42. Songwriter said, there's not a doubt. Time is running out. But give me just a little more time. Luke 42 saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. I want to talk about the mystery of God's will. Thank you for serving ushers. Thank these preachers, Reverend Good, Reverend Johnson, thank our officers, members, and our friends that are here today. Have you ever considered the mysteries of life? Mysteries are those things we experience, but we cannot figure out, despite all of the clues. In fact, mysteries should be obvious to us, but often they are not. Inquisitive children are always trying to figure out why the sky is blue or why blood is supposed to be red. But the veins in a light-skinned person's legs are always blue. Scientists spend lifetimes studying mysteries. Detectives devote decades to the resolution of mysterious crime. Mysteries are frustrating because they defy us to supply an answer. Consider Julio, who had a reputation for being the world's greatest smuggler. How he pulled it off has always been a mystery to every law enforcement officer on the border. One day, a new border guard was on duty, and then he was determined to make a name for himself by solving the mystery of how Julio smuggled so much across the border without being caught. The new guard was a hotshot who had caught undocumented people crossing the Delta. He caught so many climbing over fences and caught so many even underneath cars. And he was determined to solve the mystery of Julio. He finally came face to face with Julio, who came to the border on his bicycle. Julio was carrying 2 large bags on his shoulders. And the new guard stopped him and asked, "What's in the bag?" That's when Julio said, "Sand." The guard, determined not to be tricked, he took and ripped the bags apart, but he found nothing but sand in the bag. The guard determined he was going to find out, but he kept Julio overnight and had the sand analyzed and went through Julio's pockets to be sure that there were no drugs. But he found nothing but sand. So God released Julio with apologies, put the sand in new bags, and let Julio cross the border. A week later, Julio rode his bike up to the border with 2 larger bags of sand on his shoulder. And they searched the bags thoroughly and determined not to be fooled, but they didn't find anything but sand. For 3 years, Julio came each month. Each month, 3 years. 12 months, first year, 12 months, the second year, 24 months, 12 months the third year, 36 months, he came. He'd ride up on his bicycle, carrying increasingly larger bags of sand. And finally, Julio just stopped coming. And everyone started scratching their heads. They wanted to know what happened. One day, the guard saw Julio in front of a local store and asked him the question. He said, "Now, I know you were smuggling something. All these years, you've been coming by here and you've been smuggling something, and it's just driving me crazy. I can't even sleep at night because it's a mystery and I've not been able to solve it. But I want to know, Julio, what were you smuggling?" Julio looked at the guard and says, "Bicycles." He invited the guard to the grand opening Julio's bicycle shop. You'll get it on the way home. But sometimes we are looking so hard for the blessing that God has for us, and we don't even see it. Sometimes we may be eating steak and potatoes, and then you be waiting for God to bless you with filet mignon. See, the way God moves may be a mystery, but those who know God see God's fingerprints in every circumstance of their life. So as Christians, we know that God's will is unfolding itself every day in ways that are mysterious to us. He moves and shapes our lives. As I had become a new preacher, Frank Ray out of Memphis, Tennessee, was conducting the revival in New Bethel and Dothan, and Reverend Thompson said, "Frank, this is a new preacher, and would you give him some advice?" He said, "In everything that you see, you ought to see God in it."
That's right.
Everything that you see, you ought to see God in it. Because everything was made by it.
That's right.
You were made by it.
That's right.
Wood was made by it. Everything you see, you ought to see God in it. So this text is focused on Paul's explanation to the Christians at Ephesus on a great truth about God's universal, inclusive nature, a fact that's been hidden in past time but is now being revealed. For centuries, Jews believed themselves to be God's only chosen people. All others were considered Gentiles, or those that was outside of God's special blessing or God's recognition. And now that the opportunity for salvation was being offered to people outside of the Jewish race, it all appeared a mystery to many who could not understand what they thought was a sudden change. So Paul explains the new inclusive appeal to Gentiles as a mystery. So the acts of God are visible and some are invisible. The visible acts are easy for us to understand, but the invisible acts are harder for us to figure out. The visible acts are for everyone to see and understand. His invisible acts are those which belong to himself alone and will only be understood by those he reveals it to. Amen. See, the decision for Christ to be born as a man on earth was internal as well as invisible. It is a mystery how it happened or it could be. The Holy Spirit overshadowed Mary and she became pregnant. How in the world can you explain it? It is a mystery. Mystery. And there are several mysteries of faith. How God can have a piece of himself born of a woman and live on earth is a mystery. How God's Spirit can live in each person and make each of us partakers of the divine nature is a mystery. How God plans to resurrect the dead and translate the living in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye at the last trump, and catch us all up to be with him in the air is a mystery. How God works out the eventual success of every circumstance that we encounter and makes it work out to our advantage is a mystery. See, because there's so much about God's purpose for us, there are many mysteries about life that we do not understand. We pray constantly, and we ask God to reveal his will to us, that we can know him better and fully understand his will. See, understanding how God operates is difficult to those who do not understand his perfect will. For those who live in the will of God, understand that God's goal is to prepare each living generation to be called the kingdom of God for a place that is coming, called the kingdom of heaven. He is sifting, he is sorting, he is strengthening each believer to prepare him or her for a place in the kingdom. So without understanding that purpose, it looks like God either does not care about us or does not know what he's doing when we try to interpret what happens to us each day. See, it's challenging even to assemble a jigsaw puzzle without a picture. So without the picture, all you have is 1,000 pieces that fit together somehow, but you have no idea what the ultimate picture should look like. However, if you can see the picture, you can get an idea why one piece goes up top, another piece goes in the middle, some make corners, and others fit together with pieces that don't even seem similar. But God's will is for the picture to be complete. So he helps us put the right pieces in the right places to reach his ultimate goal. And sometimes we reach for a piece that should fit because it has a similar shape, but it doesn't fit exactly. So we try to force fit the piece and it doesn't work. See, I'm trying to get everybody saved, but everybody ain't saved, so everybody ain't gonna fit. We try to force fit, and it doesn't work. In the 1970s, Kelly Patterson had a song that said, if it don't fit, don't force it. Relax and let it go. And just because you want it doesn't mean it has to be so. See, we can take pieces from someone else's puzzle and try to make it fit the picture God has for us. Their car, their house, their clothes, or their lifestyle may be right for their purpose, but not not yours. See, the mystery is not the same piece that for others does not fit in our puzzle. We understand it better when we realize that we don't have the same picture. In the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus asked God whether there was another piece he could put in the space requiring a sacrifice. He wanted a piece that would achieve the same purpose without the cross. And Luke 22, 42 through 43 saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. And there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him. And as a man facing a difficult challenge, he wanted to find another piece to complete the picture. But because he knew the big picture, he said, not my will, but thine be done. He submitted to the will of God. See, now, each believer is like a piece in God's giant puzzle. We didn't come out of the box predestined to do a certain thing, but we are shaped and placed on the fly. If God needs us to be a corner, a center, or an end piece, we say, use me any way you need to use me. Isaiah 6 and 9 puts it this way. He said, also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I seek? And who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me. See, now, many people laugh at Christians because they don't understand matters of faith. They can't see what we see. They can't feel what we feel. In fact, spiritual people are often targets of jokes and hurtful criticism because we believe in God. In February 2018, Joy B. Hahn, a co-host for the television program The View, with Whoopi Goldberg, she was extremely critical of Vice President Mike Spence because he talks to Jesus and Jesus speaks to him. And Beyonce said it's one thing to talk to Jesus, and it's another thing when Jesus talked to you. And she said, that's called mental illness. Amen. And like Bihar, many in the world think we are mentally ill. Many folks think we are crazy for talking to Jesus and letting Jesus talk back to us. Yet boldly we sing, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he
tells me I am his own,
and the
joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known.
See, now in 1976, former President Jimmy Carter shocked the political world when he ran for president and openly claimed that he was a born-again Christian. He was ridiculed and the subject of jokes for his belief by those who did not understand the mystery of how God can change hearts and truly give people a new walk, a new talk, and a more biblically based political ideology. Even when Jairus' daughter died, Jesus told those around him to consider the girl asleep. Put the mourners out because they were just making fuss. They didn't believe that what Jesus said, that she was just asleep. And because he said that she is asleep and she will be wakened shortly. And most people did not understand who he was and did not understand the nature of his relationship with God. And had they realized that, they would not have been laughing. See, this is also true with believers. Many people do not understand us. They do not understand our relationship to God. It probably looks peculiar to them to see us praying to a God we cannot see. It looks peculiar with us waving our hands and lifting holy hands and crying, saying amen, and living by a set of rules that encourage us to walk in ways that are pleasing to an unseen God. They do not understand us, so they laugh at us when we read our Bible. They laugh when we attend Sunday worship and special programs, and they laugh when they see us express a faith that God will make a way out of no way. But we do not laugh because we understand who God is and what God can do. So when God promises us something, it sounds unbelievable, we don't laugh. Because even though we don't fully understand, we still say God works in mysterious ways and His wonders to perform. Amen. But before I hold you too long now, we don't want nobody coming by. Finally, my brothers and sisters, we must remember that while God's way is a mystery to those who do not know Him, to those who know God, God's moves may be unknown but are not mysterious. Because we know He's working for our good. See, God has revealed to us the secret of His purpose. And He's moving each of us to a level of relationships that fits into His glorious plan. We can see how each piece fits, but we know it will result in our good. How can an old whiskey head now become your pastor? How can a sinner be telling you, turn from your wicked way? God has a plan. We know this is true because God has revealed it in His word. But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither can enter into the heart of man the thing which God has prepared for them that love Him. But God hath revealed them unto us by His Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of God. So the mystery, which have been hidden from ages and from generation, but now is made manifest to His saints. And while we understand God's purpose and we understand God's will, there are still a few things that remain a mystery to us. It's a mystery how God displays unconditional love. Loving people who don't love you back is a mystery that's hard to understand. It's a love that will prompt John to say, for God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth on Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. We understand God's will and His purpose, but the power of an almighty God is still a mystery. It's a mystery how God can clap His hands and make the thunder roll. It's a mystery how God can bat His eye and make the lightning flash. It's a mystery how God can take a step through the valleys and bug the mountains up. It's a mystery how God can pluck off a little light from the sun and spangle the night with the twinkling of the star. It's a mystery Our God rolled back the water of the Red Sea, and Israel crossed over on dry ground. It's a mystery how Daniel survived a night in the lion den without a scratch on his body. It's a mystery how the 3 Hebrew boys were not burned in the raging fire of the fiery furnace. But there's a real mystery that happened over 2,000 years ago. It's a mystery how one man could be disobedient and bring sin and death into the world. It's a mystery how one man, by his obedience to the command of God, can bring salvation. It's a mystery how one man can hide from the presence of God in the Garden of Eden, and how another man in the Garden of Gethsemane could see God's face and receive saving grace. It's a mystery how man who could speak to the wind and they obey his will. It's a mystery how he can allow himself to be dragged before an unjust court 3 times in one night. It's a mystery how a man can tell the woman at the well that he was living water, but hanging out there on the cross. It's a mystery when my Jesus said, I thirst. It's a mystery how man could raise the dead, heal the sick. It's a mystery how he could carry a cross up Calvary's hill. It's a mystery how man who had been nailed to an old rugged cross. It's a mystery how he could be lied on and tell his Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. It is a mystery how man could die on a borrowed cross, be wrapped up in a borrowed grave. It's a mystery how he could be buried in a borrowed tomb. But Sunday morning, it's a mystery how he can arise Sunday morning with all power in his name. It's a right. I know it's all right.